Hello and welcome back. A very good morning to all of you in Mumbai, all of you in different cities in India, and of course, my friends who are overseas who will be watching this video at some point of time or the other. Now, in my quest and endeavor to bring you unique series on tips and techniques, I continue with the NLP series, and this morning I again bring you something absolutely unique, and it's called the NLP sales technique. Now, the NLP sales technique is something very powerful. A lot of people use them in their day-to-day lives, and to up their sales, up their profits, up their revenues. So NLP sales technique primarily improves your sales, your revenue, and your profitability. Now there are a few areas that we would cover in terms of how you can improve your sales. The first one is refine your customer proposition. Now, define your customer proposition. This includes being able to articulate what you want to offer. First, be careful of what you're offering them. What's your bouquet of services? How can your services impact them positively? Now, your ideal customers have their own characteristics. You know, they'll need to know how they benefit if they get you on board. How would you teach them? How would you contact them? And how you can get better with your competition. Now, this is all that they would like to know. What is your USP? You're in sales, so what is your USP? How different are you from the competition? Describe what you do in about 5 to 7 words. For example, if you're into sales and you want to improve your sales, so 5 to 7 words, an impact statement. We are a global company defining quality, or we stand for quality guaranteed, something like that. Now, your customers are going to be very, very particular about how they deal with you. So, what are you going to tell them? You've got to know as a salesperson, first of all, who specifically are your customers? Who's your target audience? Whom are you targeting? Are you targeting the whole globe? Are you going to solve world hunger? Or do you have a target audience? First, you've got to figure out that demographic. Now, describe who your ideal customer is. In many businesses that we see, describing and targeting your ideal customer is the single biggest indicator of your long-term success. How you identify your target audience, your target customers, defines your longevity of success. Now, what are some of the personality traits that you'd expect? What is your route to the market? How are you going to, get a market share? How will you be reaching potential clients? Will you be going door to door? Will you be doing an SMS blast? Will you be doing an email blast? Will you be doing social media marketing, digital marketing? How is the question? Will you be outbound telephonic marketing? Is that another option that you have? Now, if you can't reach your prospective clients, then you haven't got any business. So, the ways and means that you can reach your client is door to door marketing, email management, SMS blast, email blast, social media marketing, digital media marketing, outbound telemarketing and sales. So doing outbound calls to each customer. For that you need a team. Now this comprises of your entire planning of how you're going to reach out to a customer, correct? Now the next point that you'd like to know is what benefits and value do you offer? How different are you from the competition? Are you different or are you not? So if you've got to demonstrate that, what will you do? How do your clients benefit from your services? Why should they hire you? Why should they get you on board as a sales guy? Okay, so these are questions that they will ask themselves. What problem do you work with your clients for? Now, your clients might be having a problem. How will you work with your clients to resolve that problem? What are the implications of not solving those problems for the client? Okay, you might be in sales, but you need to resolve those issues for the client as well. Now, what solution do you offer that might benefit the client is something that you've got to look at, right? What are the benefits? What are the benefits does your client get from these solutions that you offer? Any solution that you give, it has to positively impact the client. Is that happening? Yes, no, maybe. So you have to figure that out. What approaches or methods are you there to offer the client? How are you better than the competition? What is your competition doing versus what are you doing? Have you figured out? Have you done a comparative analysis? Have you done a gap analysis? Have you done a USP analysis? You need to do all that. Now, the next point you've got to focus on is what competitive advantage you have over the competition. How good are you vis-a-vis the competition? What's so special about you? Tell me, why should I get you on board? Uh, is there anything, your top three issues that you talk about which really reflect that, oh, you're a maverick, and we need to get you on board. So what are those top three issues that are so different from the competition? What can you guarantee that your competition can't? That is where your confidence comes into play. Now, the next point that you've got to figure out is your elevator pitch. See, sales is all about a process, okay? And pitch is one of the P's of the sales process. So, prospect, potential, product, price, pitch. So, these are some of the P's that you need to have in sales. It's not in the same order, but of course, pitch plays a very important role. Now, when you have to pitch, you have to understand what are you pitching. Are you helping out? Are you teaching? Are you coaching? Are you leading? Okay, are you getting them a new client? Are you increasing their roster of clients? Are you increasing their top line? Are you increasing their bottom line? What are you pitching? You've got to be very clear on that. You've got to do a research on the company and see where they are and where you can take them. They are getting you on board so that you can take them from point A to point B. Now, is that happening with you coming on board? So that is something you've got to look at. Your next point that comes into play is a longer description. What's a longer description of what you can offer, which will stay in the market? You don't want something which is a fly-by-night operator. You want something which is there, which will sustain, and which people will start believing in, which is reliable and retainable. So what is that? Referencing your customers, the benefits that they are likely to get, and how you're better than your competition is something that you need to figure out. Now, there are certain questions that you need to practice your answers on. Okay, I'll give you a set of questions of which you can practice your answers on. Now, in order to show your customers that you understand their position and have solved similar problems in the past for the earlier clients, it's worth practicing your answers to some of these questions which I will relate to you. Also, if you're working on a very complex sales project, you need to understand both how you can help the individual and the person you're speaking to, so his or her company benefits from you. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're talking to somebody, you need to see how his company will benefit, and secondly, how he as an individual will benefit. How can you make him a superstar? If he has to hire you, how can you make him a superstar in the eyes of the management? So that is something that you've got to work on. So some of the questions that you need to ask yourself is, what do you have in common with the individual you're talking to right now, whom you're talking to, with his or her company? What is that one connect you've got with him? Okay. Now here the NLP matching and mirroring will really help. What customers are you working with that your individual you're talking to is likely to respect? Okay. So you have a roster of clients. So you say, oh, you're working so and so great, you're working so and so lovely. So you need to have some credibility of clients which you can reference about. What problems both does your company work on? I mean, this is something very complex. So if there is a problem, how do you resolve it for the company and for the individual? That is something you need to figure out. What are the likely implications of those problems on your revenue? You have to figure that out. What problems do you solve also for your other customers? Are they similar or are they different? So we can learn best practices. Now, what is the likely implication of those problems on your revenue? That you have got to figure out. What solutions are you offering the individual as well as the organization? Now, what is the likely value of those solutions are you giving? Are they real? Are they just fly-by-night operators? Or are they something which will give them the solution they want? What approaches, methodology are you using to give them that solution? They would be very keen to know. How are you better than your competition? What are you doing that your competition isn't? Or what is your competition doing that you aren't? Have you figured that out? Gap analysis, comparative study, all that you've got to do. A USP analysis. Okay, so that's something which you have to look at. Now, many customers are only interested in listening to solutions. They don't want to know the problems. They just want to listen to the solution. You tell me what the solution, and I'm with you. At this stage, all of them probably want to look only at a range of solutions. Give them a range of solution, alternative of solution, and let them pick which one works for them. Brainstorm a large list of solutions. Tell them what is important. See, give them a little bit of feed, and then allow them to take the decision to choose which is the best solution for them. Okay, so this is your sales technique. As you're sitting across the person and talking. Now, your next steps for sales are, now, assuming that you worked on your basic proposition and have an ideal customer list. Now, what you need to be clear about is your customer's buying cycle. When do they buy? Are they seasonal? Right? In which month do they buy? Why do they buy in that month only? Why not the other months? The problems your service solves. How does your services resolve issues for your customers? And the value you bring to the table. Now you can continually refine these all the time as you're going along. So this is something which you really got to pay attention to. You then have to make an entire appropriate customer decision makers list and influencers. You've got to contact them. You've got to make a list of all the customer decision makers and influencers and then start contacting them. Unless you don't contact them, they will not know that you exist. You outline a good telephone approach script and how you're going to handle objections. So when you have a telephone script, you know your opening, your body, your closing, your rebuttals, your objection handling, all has to be in place. After this, you want to drive the sales cycle forward to a successful closure. Now that's not easy. This involves helping your customer through the entire buying process. So he has to be convinced that yes, there is value, there is proposition, and this is absolutely negotiable where the solutions will work for me. Successful implementation are helping your customers identify the value they've received that will lead to referrals and testimonials. So when there is a happy customer, he goes out and tells 12 more customers. They go out and tell 12 more customers. That is what is called the referral cycle, and that is what helps. Even when a customer has a bad experience, he goes out and he tells 12 people. They go out and tell 12 people. So either way, there is a vicious cycle. So it's better to be on the positive side. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, and press the icon bell. Also, let us know how you like this video on the NLP sales technique. Do leave your comments to let us know how we can make this bigger, better, and brighter. Of course, I will be coming back with more videos to upskill your knowledge base. Go conquer, you wonderful and awesome people, because you so truly deserve it. We both have one life, don't forget that. I'll come back with more videos. I'll see you around, same time, same place. Until then, my friends, go spread love, joy, happiness. Go hug your friends, meet them, and stay blessed. Thank you so much for watching YouTube. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.